Python is everywhere. Data science, AI, scripting, web apps, it's the language everyone reaches for. But here's a problem that you tend to hit fast. Python environments can be a mess. You've got system Python fighting with virtual environments, packages that need native build tools. It can be a whole thing. Now imagine you want to run Python code that you didn't write yourself. Maybe it's AI generated, maybe it's from a user, maybe it's just experimental. You really don't want that touching your machine. Today I'm going to show you how to spin up a fully isolated cloud sandbox with Python pre-installed. We're going to run a NumPy-powered Mandelbrot fractal explorer in it and serve it as a live web app, all with about 60 lines of TypeScript, and your machine will never run a single line of Python. Let's get into it. This is a really basic Deno project. The only dependency that we're going to use is the Deno Sandbox SDK from JSR. That's the SDK for creating and managing cloud sandboxes programmatically. We're going to write two TypeScript files. Firstly, setuppython.ts, which we're going to run one time to create our sandbox, install Python and a bunch of useful packages, and then Snapshot. Then we'll write usePython, the script that we're going to run anytime that we want to actually use the Python environment inside our sandbox. This two-step pattern is the whole point. We do the heavy lifting once, then we reuse that result forever. It's kind of the same idea as a Docker image or a VM snapshot. They can be expensive and slow to build, but they're cheap and quick to use. So let's take a look at our setuppython.ts file. We create a client with the Deno Sandbox SDK. Then we create a volume with 10 gigs of space. And I'm using the ORD region, but you can pick any region. The region just determines where the sandbox runs. The closer to you, the lower the latency. We're then going to boot a sandbox with that volume as its root file system. Notice the await using syntax here. That's JavaScript's explicit resource management. When this scope exits, the sandbox automatically tears itself down, and we never have to think about the cleanup ourselves. Inside the sandbox, we're going to run our setup commands. Firstly, we've got apt-get update, followed by installing Python 3, Python 3 pip, Python 3 venv, Python 3 dev, and build essential. That last one is important. It gives us the C compiler that we're going to need for the packages that ship native extensions. Then we're going to install our packages. We've got requests, httpx, numpy, pandas, python.env, and we use the break system packages flag because inside this sandbox we own the whole system, so there's no reason to fight pip's usual guardrails. Finally, we can verify that everything is in place by printing the Python and pip version. Once that's all done, we snapshot the volume with client.volumes.snapshot, giving it the volume ID and a slug for our snapshot. To run this script, we're going to use the Deno run command with the allow net and allow env permissions set. And then we're done. We never need to run that again. Now let's take a look at our usePython.ts. First of all, we're going to create a sandbox from the snapshot that we just set up. We don't need any installation step here. The snapshot already has everything. We're going to expose port 8000 and we'll give it a 30-minute timeout. Then we're going to use sandbox.fs.write text file to drop our Python app directly into the sandbox file system at a temporary location. This is a nice clean way to get code into a sandbox without messing with shell escaping. We are just passing it a TypeScript string. The Python app itself is a self-contained HTTP server. Sandbox.url gives us a public URL where port 8000 is reachable. p.output keeps the script alive for the duration. Now let's take a look at what we're actually running inside the sandbox. The Python app uses NumPy to compute the Mandelbrot set. That's just a classic fractal where you interactively apply z equals z squared plus c across a grid of complex numbers, and then you count how many steps it takes each point to escape to infinity. NumPy can do this really fast, and the result is rendered as colored block characters, based on their escape time, ranging from electric blue through to green through to deep red, and points that never escape are colored in solid black. And if we take a look at what's actually rendered in the browser, we can see we've got a nice interactive app here. Each nav button is just a link with query parameters that shift the viewpoint. When we click zoom in, the server recomputes the fractal for the new region and returns a new page. No JavaScript, no WebSockets, just HTTP. And the whole time, we're running this whole thing on a throwaway Linux VM in the cloud. We're using Python, NumPy, and a web server, and none of it is running on our own machine. This pattern is useful well beyond fractals. If you're building a tool where Claude or another model is writing Python for you, you can execute that code in a sandbox, and it won't be able to touch your system or read your files, and it won't be able to exfiltrate your secret API keys. If you're building a data analysis tool where users are able to upload their own Python, same idea, each user gets an isolated environment with the packages that they need pre-baked into a snapshot. The snapshot is a fixed point in time. Every sandbox that you boot from it is identical. So we're not going to have to worry about any "it works on my machine" or any drift. And finally, because NumPy and all the other packages are already in the snapshot is ready to run in under 200 milliseconds. That's fast enough to use on demand per request. All of the code used in this demo is available on the Deno doc site, and you'll need a Deno deploy account to use the Sandbox SDK. If you want to go further, you could of course swap out the fractal for your own Python script, or try adding different packages to the setup. The snapshot approach means that you can build up exactly the environment you want, and reuse it as many times as you like.